The other thing we're going to talk about today is your stance when you're fighting. I feel like Emery and I talk about this incessantly, but with new people coming in and sometimes class being a little more social than physical, our stance sometimes will suffer. And if your stance suffers, your workout suffers, your form suffers, and you just don't achieve that same level in class that we are hoping to achieve. So when we talk to you about your stance, especially me, I use the term a deeper stance or a wider stance quite often. So first of all, when you have your stance, you want a staggered stance so that your feet are not just wider than your stance, they're deeper, wider than your shoulders, but deeper than your shoulders also. This gives you a base. Think of a pyramid. It has a point at the top, which is your head and shoulders, and then your body opens up for a wide base, just like the pyramids. So as I'm standing here, of course my hands are up, I can shift my weight forward and backward, which is how kickboxers move. They're always shifting their weight because unlike when you're in class, you don't just get to stand there and beat the hell out of somebody. When you're fighting, everything is always moving. And depending on the circumstances, of course, your stance will change. But for class purposes, wide stance, hands up, you can shift your weight and adjust. So if you're doing your jab kicks and you need to back up, it's very simple to do. It's very quick, which allows you to do what? More reps and burn more calories. So the mistakes that I'm seeing most often is people have their stance too narrow. If your feet are underneath your shoulders, it does not allow you to move, because when it comes time for me to shift, I have to put my weight on a dominant leg, move my foot, and then my body follows. It takes a lot more time. I know in your mind it's not that long of a time. When it comes to fighting, that is eternity. And a lot of times means you're in a lot of pain because you took too long. So a deeper stance here, I can shift my feet very easily. A narrow stance, I have to shift and step, and it takes a lot longer. The other thing we start to see is people focus up here with keeping their hands up and throwing their punches, especially with the kicks. You start stepping way back, and you end up with your feet in alignment. So when you do this, you are inherently unstable. I've got one foot, and this is what I see the most, is one foot is out 90 degrees, the other foot is straight in front of you, and you end up making a T with your stance, which is essentially how you see gymnasts doing their acrobatics on a balance beam. I don't know how many of you took gymnastics, but balance beams suck. Nobody's excited about them. So let's not pretend we're on one. Get a little bit wider stance. It's going to make you more stable. And then finally, what we're going to do is bend our knees a little bit. You don't want to lock out your knees. Fighters never lock their knees out. So if you find yourself in a good stance and then your knees are locked, you are going to end up very tense, which is normal for a new person because you are assimilating a lot. But bend those knees. Now when I say bend those knees, I don't mean come down into a crouch or a squat. I mean bend your knees so you're relaxed and fluid. So, points of a proper stance, a little bit wider than your shoulders, both in width and depth. Knees are bent, slightly on your toes, which I know we beat into your heads. And then of course, hands are up, which allows you to come in, throw your punches and kicks and shift very fluidly. The more movement you are able to pack into this 1, 2, 3 minute segments, the more calories you burn. That's why we're here. Anyway, sorry for talking so long. Hope you guys found this instructional. Have a great day.